I faked being kidnapped. Story time. So when I was 13, I was finally able to stay home by myself. So I thought, let me prank my family. So one day after school, my brother wasn't home and my mom was working, and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to get them. Now, the only rule that my mom had was that I had to call somebody so that way they would know that I was okay. I didn't call a single soul. So then like an hour later, my aunt starts blowing up my phone and she calls me like 100 times. And I just keep rejecting them. I wait like 15 minutes and then I call her back and I say, I'm really scared. I think there's somebody in the house. Can you please come get me? And then she's like, what? What's going on? And then I just hang up the phone on her. Then like 5 minutes later, all these people come to my house and start looking for me. And it's like 20 people. So I hid in a hamper that was in my closet. These people were at my house for like 3 hours looking for me. They were really concerned. And then I heard all these police officers come in my house and question my family. And I stayed in the closet because I was too scared to come out because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Racist customer? Story time. For those of you who do not know, I used to work at a clothing store. I worked in the men's section, just making sure everything was all tidy and organized. But one day, this lady comes in, and we'll name her Karen, and you'll find out why. Anyway, I see her walking around the men's section, and she looks very confused. So what do? I walk up to her and I go, do you need help finding anything? And instantly her stank breath self gonna catch an attitude with me. Talking about some, I guess so. Like, bleh, I could go back to minding my own business and let you struggle, sis. But I'm too nice for all that, so I was like, what are you looking for? And she starts looking around and she's like, I'm just looking for a shirt for my husband. And I'm still being nice and I'm like, what kind of shirt are you looking for, ma'am? And then Karen goes, can I get somebody else to help me? I just need somebody else. So then I say, this is my section, ma'am. I know where everything is. I can help you. And then she has the nerve to say, I just don't feel comfortable working with someone who's black. And she was black. This boy tried to drown his sister? Story time. So recently I went to this indoor water park, and yes, it is cold outside, but inside of the building was really warm, so it was okay. But inside of the building, they had these huge water slides, and 2 people could go down at the same time. So I'm waiting in line for this slide, right? And I was behind a younger boy and his little sister. They were going before me. But before you can go down, there's somebody who stands at the slide and they have to tell you all of these safety rules, to be safe. So he's telling the boy and his sister all of the safety rules, and he's like, hey, number 1 rule, do not push anybody down the slide because they can drown. And I'm sitting there like, that's a bit serious. But as soon as he says this rule, the little boy looks at his sister and goes, and he bear hugs his sister and tosses her down the slide. And all you can hear is her screaming like the entire way down. So the instructor is freaking out, everybody in line is freaking out, and the little boy is just sitting there looking down the slide like, that's what she gets. Thank God when she came out of the other side, she was okay, but she did fracture her foot. At least she didn't drown. I may have gotten a child in trouble today. Story time. So today I went to the store to buy some things because I needed some things. So I went to the store, gathered all my items, and then I got in line. And I ended up being behind a mom and her son had to be like 6 or 7 years old. So the boy and his mom get up to the register, and you know how they have candy next to the register for you to buy? The little boy asked his mom if he could have a chocolate, and she was like, no, you don't need any right now. So he gets mad, folds his arm, and then he turns around and he looks at me. And this is where I may have made a mistake. I lean down and I whisper to him and I'm like, just steal the chocolate, nobody's gonna notice. Now, of course I was joking, but he actually took the chocolate and put it in his pocket. And I thought he was gonna get away with it too, but he did not. While I was at the register buying my stuff, they start walking out the door and a security guard came from the back and stopped them. And security was like, what do you got in your pocket, little buddy? You plan on buying that? And then the little boy's mom starts yelling at him and she's like, what do you have in your pockets? I didn't teach you to steal. You were not raised like that. And I ain't say nothing. I bought my stuff and walked right past him.